I let my sister live in my vacation home. She tried to sell it. My door alarm pinged and a stranger's voice drifted through my phone, bright and salesy, calling my living room a charming coastal blank slate. I pulled up a real estate listing and saw my sister Nina's name under motivated seller, priced 40% under market. I was 200 miles away. Her open house started in 40 minutes. The deed? In my name. Nina only had temporary permission to stay. If she signed anything today, I was staring at months of legal cleanup. I called. Voicemail. Then a text from Nina popped up. Don't come. I grabbed my keys anyway. Family, favor, fault lines. Let me back up before the candles, the flyers, and the strangers commenting on my cozy kitchen. I'm the oldest daughter, the reliable one who labels pantry jars and keeps 3 calendars. Nina is my little sister, gifted with charm and timing, perpetually between places. Her temporary couch surfing always had an asterisk. Just until the new job starts, just until the roommate drama cools down, just until the car insurance clears. The emergencies rotated, the pattern didn't. I played the family role I was trained for. Fixer, explainer, absorber. The house we're talking about is my quiet place. I bought it 4 years ago when it was a battered foreclosure with mildew in the corners and raccoon footprints in the attic insulation. On paper, it was a fixer-upper. In my chest, it was an apology to myself for waiting so long to want something that was only mine. I spent weekends scraping, sanding, and painting. I learned how to swap a garbage disposal without crying. I slept on an air mattress for 2 months while the floors cured, windows open to the ocean wind and the smell of cut pine. When I locked that front door the first time, it felt like a spine growing back. Nina's pitch came with the soft voice she uses for favor and the emoji that means I'm cute but serious. Just 2 months while I get on my feet. The temp contract is already lined up. I don't want to be a burden. She said all the right things, and for once, I wanted to believe her. I said yes, with conditions. I put everything in writing. A month-to-month license, not a lease. No subletting, no alterations, no extra keys. I sent it to her to sign. She sent back a selfie holding a pen like a prop. I insisted on an actual signature. She laughed, signed, and promised, "You won't even know I'm there." I knew within a week. First, it was an extra key. She claimed she lost the original for like 10 minutes, so she made a spare. Then my neighbor, Mrs. Kravitz, I swear that's not her name, but it fits, texted me a photo of a silver SUV idling in my driveway at midnight. "Is this your renter?" she asked. I corrected her. "My sister is staying temporarily." The next morning, 2 packages I hadn't ordered were propped against the door with her name spelled wrong. Inside were vanity lights and peel-and-stick backsplash tiles. "It's for content," Nina said when I called. "Just small upgrades. You'll thank me." It sounded like care. It functioned like control. Small upgrades turned into a reel on her Instagram, a before-after carousel of my living room with my rug rolled back and my armchair shoved into the hallway because the natural light deserves center stage. She tagged a local decor page. The caption was breezy, turning my place into a vibe. I commented once, "Please put my furniture back," and deleted it because my hand was shaking. That's the tells of a fawn response. Placate, minimize, avoid the blowback. The boundary line wobbled. I told myself to be the good sister, to keep the peace. I reminded myself that she'd be gone in 60 days. The licensing agreement was clear. I had proof. But proof feels flimsy when your name is being said at brunch tables you can't see. My neighbors started asking careful questions. "Are you renting now? Is the place on Airbnb?" I reassured everyone and then called Nina. "No more guests," I said. "No changes without approval. I mean it." She sighed like I'd ruined her day. "You're so intense. I'm taking care of your place." That's how gaslighting lands in families, reframing my boundary as hostility. I drove down one Saturday to check the smoke detectors and found my kitchen island wrapped in fake marble vinyl. A cluster of eucalyptus in a jar I didn't buy sat under a ring light. The extra bedroom had a clothing rack and a neon sign that said, "Let's make magic." Nina hugged me, vanilla perfume and apologies. "It's temporary," she said. "The content pays. I'm funneling eyes to your house. Free advertising." I told her my house wasn't a brand. She said everything was a brand if you were smart. On the drive back, I rehearsed firmer boundaries, the kind that sound adult on podcasts. I tightened my systems, set a mail hold so nothing critical could be fished from my box, added alerts to my credit cards, and set up a title monitoring service because I listened to too many horror stories about deed fraud. It felt paranoid. It also felt like insurance against my guilt. Hypervigilance wears the costume of competence. Then the warning bells went from quiet to loud. The HOA emailed me a violation notice for landscaping alterations and unauthorized exterior decor. A pink flamingo planter and string lights had appeared on my porch like I'd aged 25 years and joined a tiki cult. The fine ticked up daily. I forwarded it to Nina with a simple, "Remove today." She texted back a thumbs up and a sparkle. The sparkle did not remove itself. I could feel the fault lines forming under our yes. On one side, my house, my name on the deed, the version of me that learned to be precise so nobody could pretend not to understand. On the other, Nina's weather system, where urgency justifies everything and boundaries are a vibe, not a rule. I didn't know yet that the word sell would enter her mouth. I only knew that every time my phone lit up with her name, my stomach tightened like a fist. Somatic tells my head kept trying to out-logic. I told myself 2 more weeks. I told myself to breathe. I told myself I could fix anything, as long as the door still locked. Quiet warnings become loud alarms. As the door closed behind my last visit, my phone started speaking a different language, codes and notices instead of emojis and sighs. The HOA fine doubled, then tripled, like a meter running while nobody was driving. My title alert pinged once at 2:13 a.m., a sterile email that said, "Activity detected regarding your parcel," as if my house had a pulse and it skipped. Mrs. Kravitz's husband called me by my full name, which he'd never done, to tell me a contractor was removing my porch light at dusk. Nina sent a story of string lights and wrote, "Mood." The mood wasn't romantic. It was theft with twinkle. I started narrating to myself in checklists, because checklists feel like control. Photograph the porch, call the HOA, confirm rule numbers, screenshot Nina's posts before she deletes them. The normal noises of my life, the kettle, the dryer, the elevator in my building, started sounding like alarms. That's the nervous system learning from impact. The space between what Nina said and what was happening widened into a canyon. She promised, no more guests. And then a bachelor party in linen shirts wandered through my kitchen on a live stream, toasting new beginnings. Quiet was gone. The warnings weren't whispers anymore. They were paperwork. Paper is where gaslighting dies. Red flags and paper trails. The first official slap came as an HOA notice in all caps. Landscaping violation. Exterior alterations without approval. The letter read like a parent scolding a teen who'd pierced her own ear. Pink flamingo, string lights, a macrame swing chair drilled into the eaves like we were launching a boho cafe. Daily fines. A deadline. An invitation to appeal that sounded more like, "Try me." I forwarded the email to Nina with a single sentence. "Remove everything today." She replied, "OMG, that's so dramatic. It's cute. Plus a daisy. That's minimization. Dress a violation in whimsy until the boundary looks ridiculous." I called. She didn't pick up. I sent a follow-up. "If it's not gone by 5 p.m., I'll hire removal and bill you." At 5:12 p.m., she posted a reel captioned, "We don't negotiate with boring." The flamingo now wore sunglasses. Then the invoices hit my inbox. 2 from Handy Harold for light exterior improvements, both auto-paid on my card because at some point she'd used my phone to check the Wi-Fi and Apple Pay remembered. I saw my name under Authorized and felt the kind of dizzy you get right before you faint. I canceled the card, disputed the charges, and texted Nina. "You used my card." She texted back a string of exclamation marks and, "By mistake, I'll Venmo later," like money could backspace authority. My insurance emailed me next. Subject line: policy document request, potential sale. A representative had requested my declaration page, liability limits, and loss history for a pending transaction. I stared at the words pending transaction until the letters blurred. Cognitive dissonance is physical. You feel it in your jaw first. I called the number. A clerk explained that someone with my name had inquired as the seller's representative. I told her I was the owner and no sale was pending. She paused, then added my note to the file, her voice slow, like she was trying not to step on broken glass. Realtor postcards started showing up at my apartment addressed to current owner Nina. A glossy card from a guy named Chad smiled at me from a beach in loafers, promising off-market buyers and no contingencies. I held the card over the trash, then put it in a folder labeled evidence, because throwing it away felt like erasing a fingerprint. I drove back down for a surprise drop-in and found a stack of business cards on my entry table. Stagers, a photographer, a mobile notary. My kitchen island had a bowl of fake lemons, The smell of fresh linen sprayed the air like it could erase my name on the deed. That's staging, psychologically, manipulate senses to bend judgment. I called Nina and kept my voice calm. We need to talk. She said she was in the middle of a brand collab and could we not? Face to face, she was breezy. I'm improving your place. You're welcome. I pointed at the invoices, the HOA violations, the bowl of staged fruit pretending not to be plastic. This stops now. No more contractors, no more changes, no more buyers. There is no sale. She rolled her eyes. You're so negative. Look at the engagement. That night, at my kitchen table, I pulled up everything. Bank statements, title alerts, emails, her posts. I set up a mail hold so nothing important could be rerouted. I added fraud alerts to my credit. I paid for a title monitoring service with a name that sounded like a submarine. I made a spreadsheet with dates and screenshots because if I was going to scream, I wanted the scream to be organized. The first twist was subtle but loud to me. A soft pull on my credit from a mortgage broker 2 towns over. I hadn't applied for anything. I called the number. A receptionist confirmed my last 4 digits and said, "We're pre-qualifying for a cash-out refi on the property in," and said my street like she was tasting it. I said, "No, you're not," and asked for the file. She hesitated, then transferred me to someone who used the word client and meant not me. I put the call on speaker and recorded it on my old phone. Who requested the pre-qualification? I asked. We have a power of attorney on file, he said, like he was ordering lunch. My scalp prickled. Hyperarousal is your body tapping the brakes. Email me what you have, I said, and consider this notice that any authority you think you have is revoked. There was no authority to begin with. He bristled. We'll need that in writing. You'll have it in 10 minutes, I said, and texted Maya, a real estate attorney a friend had used in a nightmare sale. I wrote, emergency, sister, house, possible fraud. While I waited, I called my insurance back and put a password on my account. I called the HOA and requested copies of the violation photos for my records. I called my bank and added verbal passwords. I called a locksmith to schedule new smart locks that would log entries and exits. I walked my own heartbeat down from a sprint to a jog by making tasks into air. Maya called me back in under 5 minutes. Her voice was calm in a way mine wasn't. Tell me everything, she said, and I did. Nina's move-in, the license agreement, the flamingo, the invoices, the insurance request, the credit pull. She didn't gasp or scold. She asked for documents, timelines, and the exact phrasing of Nina's promises. We're going to shut the door before they wedge it open, she said, and we're going to build a file in case they already did. I sent her my folder labeled evidence. I added a new one, war. Soft pull becomes a sales pipeline. By morning, the soft pull wasn't a bump in the road. It was tracks laid straight to my front door. My title monitor pinged again. A preliminary title package requested. My parcel number typed neatly. My name misspelled the same way Nina's packages were. The email thread showed clockwork. Mortgage broker to title rep to mobile notary, notary to a Gmail that used my first and last name plus agent. I recognized that cadence. Nina didn't build systems. She borrowed confidence from people who did. Maya fired off a cease and desist to the broker and title company while I dictated a sworn statement revoking any purported authority. 10 minutes later, the title rep replied with a breezy, received with thanks, like I just sent a thank you note for a fruit basket. But the next email in the chain was worse. Per POA, proceed to order payoff statement. My mortgage had 0 balance. I'd paid it off. So payoff meant they were preparing to clear my title for a sale that didn't exist. In fraud, speed is strategy, confusion is cover. I watched the pipeline light up like runway lamps. A stager confirmed Tuesday window. A photographer asked, is the homeowner okay moving the sofa? A mobile notary offered evening availability at the seller's sister's convenience. Seller's sister. That phrase landed like a slap. In their story, I wasn't the owner. I was a prop. Maya's voice cut through my spin. Good. Let them move. The faster they move, the more obvious the fraud. Document everything. I set another coffee to brew and opened a new tab. Recorder on, screenshot stacking, my house slipping from my hands on paper long before anyone touched the lock. The fake ownership narrative. The narrative started small, like all lies do, just big enough to pass at a barbecue. It weaponized plausibility. Mrs. Kravitz texted me after a neighborhood walk. Nina says you gifted her the house as thanks for helping you during your surgery. Congratulations. I stared at the words until my own medical history flashed in my mind like a reel. A laparoscopic procedure 2 years ago, a one-night hospital stay, me Ubering home with a heating pad and a bag of crackers, Nina texting a heart and not showing up. I didn't gift her anything, I typed back. I own the house. Mrs. Kravitz's typing bubble blinked, then disappeared. The silence from people who want to believe the easier version is a sound I'll never forget. Online, the lie had better lighting. I found an Instagram carousel with my coffee table shoved against the wall, my throw blanket refolded like a stage prop. The caption read, "Before and after of my coastal cottage." She was a tired little darling until I breathed new life into her. Proof you don't need to be rich to own, just scrappy and smart. In slide 4, my deeds sat blurred in the background like set dressing, as if paper was aesthetic, not law. Comments poured in. Goals. Manifesting this. Women supporting women. She reposted those. She didn't repost mine. A polite, "Please correct. You are a temporary licensee," which she deleted in less than a minute. I screenshotted the deletion. Then a local Facebook group, it's always a Facebook group, shared a pocket listing. The photo was my front porch without the flamingo, haloed by sunset. Off-market gem, owner relocating, motivated to close fast. DM Chad for details. The description listed my square footage, my lot size, the exact upgrades I'd done with my own tired hands. A stranger commented, "Any issues with the roof?" And Chad replied, "Sellers updated, no known leaks." My roof had been tarped in a storm last winter. Patched, sure, but the phrasing "no known leaks" read like a shrug tossed into a contract. My phone rang. Unknown number, local area code. "Hi, is this Lily?" the voice asked. Smooth, confident, a little impatient. "Speaking," I said. "This is Chad. I'm working with your sister, our cooperative seller. She said you're aligned on a quick cash deal. I've got buyers ready to waive inspections if we can close within 2 weeks." I breathed deliberately. "I'm the owner," I said, "and there is no deal." He chuckled like I'd told a joke at my own expense. "Totally understand the family dynamics. The buyers are strong. We'll close with or without you. It'll be easier for everyone if you sign." I put him on speaker and hit record. "Send me your listing agreement," I said, "and the power of attorney you think you have." He sighed. "We're not on MLS. It's a private placement. The paperwork's in process." "Great," I said. "Email it to me. This is your notice to cease all representation and promotion of my property. Any authority you think exists is revoked and was never granted." He pivoted. "Let's not get litigious. Your sister is trying to improve your position." "My position is owner," I said, and hung up. Maya coached me to keep the line steady. Collect, don't engage. But in the meantime, the story metastasized. Nina posted a TikTok explaining how I bought my first house at 28. A lip-synced audio under a montage of my floors, my view, my hands in old photos pulling up carpet tacks. She framed it as a gift from a generous sister after years of sacrifice. In a DM to a neighbor, she wrote that she'd taken over payments because Lily couldn't keep up. That's reputation laundering. Borrow my image to shield her story. I pulled my credit report and laughed once. Ugly, short, at the 0 mortgage balance. The second twist landed as an email from a title assistant with a cheerful subject. "Prelim ready, needs seller's ID." Attached, a preliminary title report with my parcel, my legal description, and a seller. Nina, my last name. Attorney in fact for Lily, my last name. Per attached POA. Attached POA, a PDF with a notary stamp from a county 2 hours inland. My signature slanted like someone guessing how my hand might move. The dates didn't line up with anything resembling reality. The notary's commission number didn't match the state database. The language was a cut and paste from some template that forgot to change the pronouns in one clause. You could see his in a paragraph about my her. I felt heat crawl up my neck. I called Maya. "Forwarded," I said, voice flat. She read while I held the phone to my ear and stared at my own walls like they could reassure me. "Good," she said finally. "This is sloppy. We'll make it embarrassing." She drafted a revocation, notarized and recorded a notice of interest on the property, and fired a cease and desist straight to the title officer's inbox with the forged POA attached, highlighted in neon. "Also," she said,
Call the notary listed and ask for confirmation. I did. The notary picked up with a weary, I don't know who keeps using my stamp, but it isn't me. She'd already filed a report. Her commission had been cloned. I thanked her, got her statement, and added it to the folder named War, which now had subfolders. Procedure is:
How you grieve without collapsing. Across town, unaware of the danger, or pretending to be, Nina filmed another story. Open house soon, she chirped at the camera, flipping a candle lid. Motivated seller. Cash talks. She panned over my mantle where my graduation photo used to sit, and now there was a framed quote about hustle. The comments hyped her. A few asked about me. She replied with a sad face emoji. We're keeping it private. Privacy gets misused as camouflage when accountability knocks. I wasn't. I emailed Chad's broker, attaching the forged POA, our recorded notices, and a line that read, "Continuing to market my property will expose your firm to liability." I sent a complaint draft to the real estate board, saved but unsent, like a bullet I'd fire later. I printed emails, highlighted timestamps, and arranged them chronologically on my dining table until the story looked like what it was, a theft that smiled for the camera. Order calms panic. When I finally called Nina, I didn't yell. "You cannot sell my house," I said. "You cannot pretend to own it. Stop." She went silent for a beat, then leaned into a tone I'd heard since we were kids. "You gave it to me," she said softly, like if she said it tenderly enough, it would become true. "You said I deserved stability." "I said you could stay for 2 months," I replied. "I said I love you. Love is not a deed transfer," she scoffed. "You're being dramatic." "No," I said, "I'm being the owner." And I hung up, because sometimes the only boundary that holds is the click at the end of a call.